Everybody. My name is Terry. I'm from the Wild Applicant Onboarding team. So today, we're just gonna answer some of the questions that you have regarding the software. So a couple of topics that we're going to cover. This is the list that I got from Alicia. So one, we're going to talk about how to set up the email blast, the store, selling refunds and invoice voids. Is there anything else that anybody would like me to cover for today's session?
Yes. Um, I just have some website comments
Okay.
and concerns, like reasons why I've been considering switching, and I really don't want to, but some website stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Um,
My
anybody else?
my
Yep.
issue concern, and maybe you can, I mean, ours is more specific, is I had my previous employee um set this up and coded it herself.
Mhm.
She did everything coded on her own. We didn't use too much of your drop and drag. So it's hard for us now to figure out what she did because it was her own coding. So we might need to talk offline at some point or something like that. Or what do you suggest? Just move forward using your regular drop and drag and override her coding, I guess, is kind of where I'm assuming. Because I've talked to
Yeah.
Bridget about it and the Michigan chapter about it because um, she made the Michigan chapter's
Yeah.
website. So yeah, that was my personal issue, along with many others.
And you're from Arizona chapter?
Yes, Arizona. Barb and I are from the same chapter.
Yeah, because this website is built using our website builder.
Or are you looking at it
Um,
now?
yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Oh, sorry. Let me share my screen. Um, in terms of coding, because this looks pretty much very similar to the theme that we have. Um, I'm looking at
Well, maybe
CS
answering
and
some of
embedded
Bridget's
in
questions
CSS.
might answer our questions.
Okay, yeah, because it doesn't look like it has any custom coding.
There's coding inside embedded maybe in certain pages, is what she said. I have no idea because I didn't do this. That was
Okay,
her job. And I was
yeah,
her boss, so I just assumed it was taken care of if the website's working. I didn't pay attention.
okay. But what seems to be I guess the challenges you're seeing using
Well,
this website
just
builder?
like Bridget or whatever. I mean, Barb and I need to learn how to do all this. We have no clue. You know,
Okay. Well, I mean, what kind of sort of updates you need to make on a day-to-day basis?
the entire website needs to be constantly updated.
Okay.
So yeah, like I don't know how to change these scrolling thingies.
This?
Um, yeah, I don't know how to do
Okay.
that. I don't even know
Yeah.
where she began with. So, I mean, these might be more personal questions. Um, but if you just want to go over everybody else's, it might answer. We all might have some of the same generic stuff. I don't want to take up everybody's time.
I need some assistance with that as well. I've been showed a few times, but it's not clicking.
Okay.
Okay. No problem at all. Yeah, so in terms of somebody's here. So, I mean, in terms of updating this website, this is again, this is what
Yeah.
a
See
drag and
these
drop was.
pictures? See those, for example, all those blank things? We don't know why they're like that all of a sudden.
Okay, so this is custom coding. This is what you're referring to.
Yeah, I don't know how to do any of that jazz.
Hey, you shouldn't.
So,
You shouldn't do that. Like that's going to make your life harder. I don't know why she would ever do that.
Probably
Like,
to make my life difficult when she left.
yeah, that's silly. Like
I mean,
coding.
this was 4 years ago, and I didn't know she coded till after it was done. I just said make
mhm,
the website work. And maybe there were things that she felt like I think you and I have talked about that were limited to you know what I mean? The
Yeah.
wild apricot, hence the store concept. you know, so maybe
Yeah.
she just did this on her own. But all of a sudden, all these logos disappeared. They're there, but the pictures aren't there. And I'm getting complaints. And I don't know how to fix it.
Okay. So a lot of these image files, as far as I can see, they are stored within the file storage, but either somebody moved the folder or those images have been deleted, which is why the system, we're not able to display those images.
Well,
So that's something that that would need to be looked into.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. But as far as the website builder itself, you know, in terms of updating content, such as updating text, it's a pretty simple process. What I just clicked on is a content gadget, right? So if I just click through it, and you will see that you will bring up this, essentially this menu bar at the top, which is very similar to like a Microsoft Word, if you will. So if you see this, you know for sure you're in edit mode of this box.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially you can just type it away. You can just type it away, hit save, and that change will go live right away.
Yeah, we've managed to figure out some of that because Marcy's helped me, Bridget's helped me, and then Barb and I have figured it out together. It's that scrolling nonsense I don't understand, and those
Okay.
pictures disappeared. I don't
So
understand any of
this
that and stuff. Yeah.
so the
And I don't
slideshow
really
is all
want to understand because it's not really my job. I want to understand because I kind of have to for Barb and I, but we just, you know, we just want it to work. And it shouldn't be so rocket science because, yeah. I mean,
so
overall, the website click it, drop and drag seems simplistic enough. There's just places where stuff is stashed that we don't know. And then to do your chat, I don't want to sit on chat for an hour or all day. That was the big complaint Stephanie had was your chat room. You can sit there for 8 hours and then they don't talk to you.
um I cannot speak for them because technically I'm the onboarding team. Usually I talk to new users.
Well, we
Um
literally can't talk to anybody. They says that she claims nobody can answer the phone, nobody can do this, nobody can do that. You literally only
yeah,
can
that's
text, not talk to
uh
people.
email and email and live chat, yes.
Okay.
Hey, I can help you through some of this. I can
Well,
help you.
help Barb and stuff. Yeah. I
Okay,
mean,
I
I
can
just
help. It's
yeah.
it's just a matter of adding files from like on the left where it says from folder. Like you have to go in and re-add those pictures. And then it will scroll through
But
like
nobody took them off though. That's what's weird.
well, but if she coded, who the hell knows? I mean, that's
You mean
like
the
the
code
hard.
could just break down all of a sudden?
I don't know
The
why it would have broken down. I'm just saying that like
They
there
stopped working about 3 months ago and she never fixed it.
there's an easy way to do
Okay.
it where it would not break down unless you remove the pictures from the folder that it's choosing from. So somehow that happened. Who knows how.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Terry, quick
yeah.
question on that since we're talking
Mhm.
about coding. So the stuff that's on our website that's coded, can we update that, if you will, to make it drag and drop and get rid of the code? Because I
Exactly.
don't code. That's a foreign language to
Um
me.
okay, what is your
Or
site?
what's the best way to do
She's
that?
with me. This is our site.
Oh,
Sorry, yeah.
so this um so the
Or
obviously
anything in general. Yeah.
the closest to this is the slideshow, but the slideshow doesn't do exactly this, which is why she had to use custom coding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to get rid of this. I just want it fixed. That's all. But if Bridget can help us down the road, I don't want to take up everybody's time with this because this is isolated to just our website.
Essentially, we just have to review all these links and make sure the image files are there, make sure the file names match what you have over here, and that should fix everything. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it might be a little tedious because you have multiple image files going on, but it is fixable.
Okay.
Okay. As far as websites, anybody else has any issues, questions that they're facing?
So I don't have necessarily issues. My
Yeah.
concern is that, so I've been a part of Wild Apricot for almost 10 years now. And your options for like templates have not
Yeah.
changed since I started. And that's really annoying because I do think that y'all need to keep up with the times, like, and offer a little bit more engaged platforms. And right now, we like I literally like nothing's changed since, in the past 10 years, or at least I haven't noticed any kind of change. And I had gone from using GoDaddy, their website builder, to Wild
Mhm.
Apricot because of all the services that y'all offer for our members.
Yeah.
But in terms of the website design, like, I mean, I'm just pleading with y'all to upgrade and do some things that just make the templates more interactive. Like if you hover over a button, will it light up to a different color? Or, it's like all of our sites seem to be very similar in nature, like these boxes, right? Because that's the only thing that we're like capable of doing easily is like transferring over, gadget, like content gadget here, here,
Yeah.
and it's just boring. And so I would just ask um that you consider that. Also, like, I mean, there's things like fonts that could be upgraded, and there's all sorts of stuff that just to
Yeah.
keep up with the times, I think would be helpful.
I mean, as far as templates, that's above my pay grade. I would say that fonts. Well, I mean, I would definitely share this as a feedback to my product team.
Okay.
But as far as fonts, that can be installed. You can actually install any Google fonts that uh that's available on Google. Essentially, just need to add some CSS and theme
Yeah, see
overrides, and then
that goes to kind of Kate's point. Like we all are not, this is not like we're not website designers. And so when you start talking about like making it harder than it needs to be, that's where like I want to find something else.
Yeah.
Uh, because it shouldn't have like my experience with GoDaddy and how simple it was to use their website builder.
Yeah, these people are chewing this boy out. I'm like, I feel so bad for him.
What?
Huh?
We
Susan,
couldn't
I
hear you,
don't,
Susan, if you had a question. Could you repeat that? I guess not.
okay, so what I'm getting is that's
yeah.
you'll tell the powers that be that this is something that maybe they need to look into. Do you actually I think that's it.
Yeah, and I would say to that question, the quickest solution is to actually hire a Wild Apricot partner because they could do a lot more with our website builder. Just pulling out an example, this is from Nicasio. This is entirely built using our CMS. I mean our website builder. Um, and they could do wild things with it. I mean, not yeah. So this would be the quickest way if you want like a design overhaul, in my opinion.
But we have to pay for that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think all of us are trying to save costs and just want to be able to
Yeah.
do it ourselves. Um, and like that site that you just showed, man, if I could do that, that's amazing. And I wish I knew the template that they used to be able to do that. Um,
But that's a redesign basically, right, Bridget?
yeah, I mean, we're looking at redesigning, we're doing page by page right
Oh,
now.
okay.
Of redesigning to try to kind of match where CAI National went with their site to make it more
Oh.
interactive and like, so,
That's what Barb and I were talking about too, as she gets in there to mess with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we're doing so because I can't find a template that's better than the one that we currently have. I bet you we're actually using the same template, Kate, but because I can't find one that's better,
Yeah.
We're just kind of like page by page trying to make the gadgets work for us.
Yeah. That's why Stephanie said some of it didn't work and hence the store popped up. And I know Marcy said something about the store, and so did the gal Lisa from Michigan, because you can't do more than one thing, like the website's limited and stuff like that, like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
One of the questions I was told when we talked back in 2022, member clicks got bought out by Personify, and they told us that they would be merging Wild Apricot and member clicks together by 2024, and that hasn't happened into 2025. Where are we on that? Because some of those features that you and I are talking about, Bridget, member clicks kind of sort of does, but the price point was like double. You know what I mean?
Cool.
So I was just curious about,
Mhm.
like, that's why we were waiting it out, because why pay for it when it would eventually merge together? Is that not happening yet or soon, Terry?
That's not on the roadmap.
They're still going to stay separate then? Because
Yes, they
we
are
were
still
told
separate products.
repeatedly they were merging together. Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely not the case, and that's not the plan,
Hmm.
as far as I know. Yeah.
Well, that's disappointing.
So let me just make a note of that, because this is the first time I hear about it. Yeah. Um, anything else on the website? Because I think Barb has a question on membership.
Yeah, no, I mean, the website, I mean, it would take hours for me. I know what we need help with. But that's not everybody's problem. So we're just gonna have to talk offline and get it fixed.
Okay.
Terry, are there tutorials somewhere
For
for like if we like for this my question about how to upload members from an Excel file, is
yes,
there's tutorials for that?
yes. Um, this one specifically. But what's your specific question? I can walk you through it real quick.
Uh,
Um,
well, like okay, so we have some new member Excel files
yeah.
that we just got a couple of days ago. So, oh my gosh. Sorry, my phone is blowing up and these people are driving me nuts. Um, like how do we upload that from an Excel file so that we don't have to go in and do it by hand, put in each member by hand? Because
Yeah.
our Excel files probably have way more information in them than we have on the website.
Hmm. Okay. So obviously the first thing that you would need to do is to match the field's name. Let me just do an export real quick. Do an export. And this is my demo account, by the way.
Okay. I'm not trying to get them out, I'm trying to put them in.
No, but I'm going to show you what the system is
Okay.
expecting. Because
Okay.
there's a specific format that we're looking for. Yeah, but essentially you want to match the field names with what you have in your account, right? So for example, if you go into the contact field setting, your contact field settings, this will be a list of custom fields, custom contact fields that you will have in a database. So for example, if your email field is e-mail, then you want to match that on your spreadsheet. It just makes it easier
Okay.
for when you're doing the importing,
Yeah.
because the system will be able to map that automatically. If you don't match, you also have the option to manually map those fields as they come in. Okay.
Okay.
But let me switch my screen real quick. I'm gonna switch to the spreadsheet that I just had. Okay. We're not looking at the data. We're focusing on the top row here. That's the one that we need. So when it comes to importing a list of members that you have, email is the most important one of the most important fields because that is their username to get into in order for them to log in. And then if you scroll past this, you don't need them. And the membership related ones are also very important. So you need to put in your membership level. So if you import someone without a level, the system is going to import them as a regular contact as opposed to a member, right? And the membership level name needs to match whatever that you have in your membership level settings. So that's under members on the left, levels at the top. So it needs to match exactly what it is. And there are a couple of statuses that you can import. The most common one is obviously active, if someone's up to date with their membership. But you can also import someone as a lapsed member. So for example, if their membership has expired, then you can import them as lapsed members, which means their membership privileges would get revoked until they renew their membership. And there are a couple of statuses that the system would track. So I'm going to drop it in the chat. Yeah, so this will be a list of statuses, member statuses, contact statuses that the system would track. Member, since this is only for record keeping purposes, this is obviously their start date of when they join, their join date. But we don't really use, I mean, the system doesn't really use it, but renewal due date is very important. This would be their renewal date, right? So it can be either be a past due renewal date or it can be their upcoming renewal date. We need to feed the most accurate date to the system because based on this, we can trigger those renewal emails, right? And that depends on what your renewal settings is. So those
We don't renew
emails
our
can be
own
triggered.
memberships, so that's not relevant.
Oh, okay.
Barb.
Yeah. No, I know we don't.
Yeah.
Not my first rodeo. Haha.
Yeah.
Okay. But we do have the renewal dates change as people renew. They go from a renewal date of 24 to 25.
Yeah, so you can update the renewal due date.
So, but we don't have to put that in unless you click on that field, though, correct?
I mean,
Connect that where you tie that to the Excel spreadsheet you're uploading
Like
from.
he says, it has to match. Yeah.
um,
We'll have to go and look in there and see what field she's clicked on. Because I
Okay.
know what she's clicked on.
I don't know.
We'll have to look.
Okay.
does that answer your question?
No,
Yeah,
I'm
so-
yeah, a little bit. We just need to know how you get them in there. We know I know about this stuff already. I don't know how you make it go in there. Once that's all done.
Oh, okay. Once the spreadsheet is done? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you link the
And-
spreadsheet to the fields in the database, then how do you make it upload? Is there just a button you click that says upload or?
So contacts on the left, import at the top.
Oh,
You would select the
Uh-huh.
spreadsheet.
Okay.
fabulous.
This is the file I just had. I will click upload.
Excellent.
Yeah. So they're just confirming the first row is a header, which
Yep.
it is. So we'll hit next. So this will be the mapping stage. So since I essentially
Cool.
just exported the file from the system, it maps itself automatically. Yeah. So just make sure that all the fields that we need are there. Then we will hit next.
Okay.
And this is going to start importing. Yeah. And then after that, you get in like an essential echo log. So if there's any kind of error, you know exactly what went wrong, what you can fix.
Cool.
Contacts.
Does it weed out the duplicates? If there's already that name?
It depends on the email.
Okay,
So
so
it
if the
doesn't-
email matches, it won't upload?
Correct. The second record would not import.
Well, that's good to know.
But that's the system's going to tell you that from the log.
The system, I'm sorry, what?
The system would tell you that from the log. I just want to show you an example. That
Oh,
it
yeah,
wasn't
because it said it
import,
had
it came from
3
the
errors
email.
and these are the errors.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
So it's going to tell you exactly which row is having issues. So row number 4. I'll just zoom it a little bit. Yeah. So based on this, you can fix those records
Oh,
individually.
and then you just go back in the Excel spreadsheet and fix it, then reload it again?
Or you can just make change. I mean, if you're importing, say you're importing 1,000 records and you only have 3 errors, you might just fix those three rows individually. I
Oh,
mean, fix
like
those 3
manually.
records individually. Yeah.
But
Without
where would you
redoing the whole
manually
thing.
go to do that? Go look them up in contacts because now they're in there.
Well, yeah, because you refer back
Okay.
to your spreadsheet and see who is on your row 4.
Okay, gotcha.
And do they receive that email notification that they've been added as well?
They would not. So those who get imported, they would not get an email notifications. Only those who actually apply on your website, then they will get an email notification automatically.
Because I found that if I go in and do them individually, like I click on the members, there is, click on add member. There's a
Yeah.
button that says send notification to members. So that way that they know that they've been added and sends them a little template and everything.
Send
But
notification.
if I upload
Under
them,
members.
right. So if I go to members and then click on the add member button, I've been putting them in one by one.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh.
we want to avoid that.
So right, and then see that send notification to member button. If I click on that,
Oh,
it
yeah.
sends them a notification that they've been added to our website.
Oh,
I like
yeah.
that feature.
But
What I
that's
would
only
do,
individual. It's not in the
yeah.
import. Stephanie
So
had
what
to
I would
send
do,
another email separate with all of them.
yeah.
Marcy.
So what I would do, what we
Sucks.
recommend is to do that in bulk. So once you have everybody added into the database, you can go to communication, email template.
Mm-hmm.
We have a website launch welcome email.
Yep.
Yeah, so this tells them, that there's this new WildApp website, and they can go into the link to set up their initial password, so they'll be able to log in.
And then
Yes.
how do you just email those individuals? Oh, and then you paste in the
Right.
emails.
Send emails, yeah.
Yeah, that's what
And
she did
if
then.
you're just like and obviously you don't have, your database are not brand new, so what you can do is you can run a search.
Yeah.
And then, you can just pull, folks that have been recently added to the database. Then you would save the search. So then it would show up as one of your email list when you're sending a manual email, because this will be a manual email that's going out.
That's what we've been doing. Yes. That's how she got around that, Marcy.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't want to sit there and add 30 people. That could take like an
I work
hour.
on it slowly. Yeah.
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 No.
Yeah, so Marcy, we do have a training video for that. It's our bootcamp series, and it's lesson 1. It's part of lesson 1. You don't have to watch
Look
the
at
whole
that.
thing. The whole thing's like an hour. But I'll share this link. But we have 4 lessons. 1 is importing, 2 is online payments and events, 1 about email, and the last one is about website.
Oh, I didn't even know these were existed, so that's good to know.
And that's on your website, right? thewildapricot.com.
Correct. I just put the link in the chat. Yeah,
Oh,
but it is on our
okay.
website.
Boot camp. Okay.
Yeah, we're all at different levels of needing something. Because I agree with Bridget. We're at that point too. And Stephanie was just starting to do what Bridget's talking about. And then now she left. So now we're back to at least the website's there, but we need to edit it and maintain it and then do things like that. The other issue that I don't know if anybody else has is when it comes to settling an account, one of
Yeah.
my biggest complaints is obviously InfiniPay is the third party carrier, and they can manage to take a credit card and then get the money deposited into our account. But when we have to do a refund, we have to go through InfiniPay, but then you have to go back into Wild Apricot separately and settle it, which it should
Mhm.
be if it can go in, why can't it go back out? And I know it doesn't. So if you don't settle that account, it shows that they have a credit. It recognizes a refund, but it
Yeah.
doesn't settle the account. And you have to manually do that, which is extremely frustrating. It's time consuming.
Yes, I agree. And I mean, refunding
Will
is
it
still
ever?
a two-step process. What I can say is this feature might get introduced in our payment system, not AffiniPay, but I cannot promise on any timeline.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So by
yeah.
our payment system, I meant personified payments.
Well,
Yeah. So in terms of the rates, it is still the same as the on par with AffiniPay, 2.9% plus 30 for these cards and 3.5 for Amex. So
oh, you're saying Lee because InfiniPay was the only carrier because Bridget was lucky. She got grandfathered with authorized.net, which is our original payment carrier. They
yeah,
made us do InfiniPay because we joined after that cutoff. And now
yeah.
you're saying we can leave InfiniPay and go straight through you?
Well, yes. So we support
And
both
that's
AffiniPay and this is a newly introduced payment system, personified payments. This was just
oh,
launched a couple months back. So new features will be added in this new payment processor, but not refunding at this point. So you don't need to make
oh,
the switch at this point. But we have
no.
recently launched Apple Pay. So Apple Pay, it is supported through personified payments exclusively.
Well, your
Yeah,
price points aren't bad. I mean, they're competitive with InfiniPay. That's about what it is with them right now, so it's nothing
yeah.
new.
It
But
is, yeah,
it's
it
the
is
refund
part of
process
them.
that if you forget to go back in there, then you have all these unsettled accounts, and then people think they have free money in their account. And when they go to
Yeah,
register, they can't apply it because technically it's not a credit. Then they're calling having a
correct.
hissy and just trying to avoid confusing customer service type issues, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I
You're saying it
understand.
will
So
never match at this point in time.
at this point, no, but
Okay.
this feature is more likely to be introduced in personified payments than
Well, we'll just
AffiniPay.
keep an eye on it then.
Yeah. And I see that Bianca has a question in the chat. So you're looking to redesign the website? Okay.
Yeah. We're gonna do page by page, but if you know of any like tricks or anything that will help us, that would be great.
What kind of redesign are you doing?
We're gonna delete like basically everything that we have and like start from scratch. So like transferring information over if there's an easier way to do that.
Bridget, I'm just going to pay you and you can do that. Have her do that. So Barb and I don't have to.
Are you switching to a different theme? Are you like what kind of
Yeah,
kind
we're going to use like different like layouts and different colors and everything, so and just kind of making it more up to date.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Um
Bianca, do you have one of the sites that we were looking at as an example of like what we were gonna do?
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
remember?
Yeah, let me figure out which one it was.
And Terry, while she's doing that, we weren't
yeah.
gonna switch templates because we couldn't find one that really matched like the style that we were looking for. So we're gonna use this current one and just page by page like redesign and then delete the original. Um, because like I was talking about before, like with all these boxes and everything
Yeah.
so like non-interesting. Um, yeah, but we have some chapters as an example of like what we're looking for. Do you have one of those, Bianca?
Yep, I just put one in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this is not us.
Oh,
Yeah,
much cleaner. Oh,
yeah,
well,
this
that's
is
not
not
good for
us.
them.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not y'all, but that's kind of like what we're
Oh, okay.
going for in terms of like the look, and we're trying to like duplicate it on Wild Apricot.
Mm.
Yeah.
So like see how clean that looked compared to this, like, yeah.
Um, we
I dropped the other one
just-
in the chat. Maybe that one will work. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
okay. Mm,
So Bianca, you're like asking, like, is there, looking at these two sites, is there like an easy hack for trying to just duplicate what they've done?
Yeah.
yeah, you can. It would be hard to duplicate. I mean, without involving like coding, because
Nope,
yeah,
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna.
because this
exactly.
is we have a different website builder. It's proprietary, which is why you can just like copy and print over.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Right.
closest that we have is this.
Oh,
This is but the problem is
Cost money.
no,
No.
but the problem is you will need to start fresh if I were to
oh,
give you this.
so we couldn't do like a change template and everything will like go over to this. It would be like starting completely fresh, like no page is designed kind of a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
But that's not something you can, I mean, it's stored on your system. You can't just transfer that. If she wants that template, you can't behind the scenes just move that stuff over. I mean, it is saved on your system. I mean, our
Yeah, I
entire
kind of just
websites
move it
are
over.
saved on your behind the scenes on your system. You can't
I
code that behind your system and move that for her.
I understand, but there are different instances, so I can just move it over. Um, yeah.
Because I know other website carriers we've had when we've transitioned to a new platform, which meant a new carrier, we were able to work with our previous one and the new one. They could go behind the scenes and they coded it and moved it all together so that each page lined up.
Yeah.
I mean, you had to tweak it so, there were things that weren't lined up completely correct, but the content to not have to start from scratch was capable. So I know if ever the platforms can do it, I'm assuming you guys can do that because you have all of this behind the scenes and can see the coding.
It's not so much the coding, it's just like largely this is a drag and drop builder, right? If it's fully in HTML, then I can just copy paste and I'll be done with that. But since it's largely drag and drop, which is why another reason I could just move it over.
Hmm.
I mean, if I could move it over, I would do it for you. For sure, 100%.
Okay, well, now we know the answer. No, there is no hack. It will just do page by page. Well, Bianca will. Thanks, Bianca.
Yeah.
So Terry, I have a question, just because I kind of got brought up about the chat
Yeah.
ongoing support. So do you all not have a customer success department or anything? Because if there's, I'm still kind of stuck on a chat when they need assistance and it's not being met, because obviously we're not going to solve all the
Yeah.
problems today or address everybody's
No.
concern. But my concern is my CDs are playing for a platform. I want to make sure, they can get the information on there and get it done, and they're not waiting 2 weeks or so for someone to respond back to them. So is there a direct line or anything or an email address specifically that we could have so that they can reach out other than, the tutorial page or the chat feature?
Yeah, I don't have a direct line to to provide. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reach out to our support manager
Okay.
after the call. Yeah, just to bring this to his attention.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's just no support. I just think a lot of these things,
there is no
honestly, I think that
support,
could be
Alicia.
it could be
That's,
fixed, but
yeah.
y'all gotta be able to communicate with them and let them know. And it sounds like there's a disconnect in that way, and
Yeah,
that
you
doesn't really
can't just
work.
pick up the phone and
Yeah,
talk to anybody. And who has time when we have jobs to sit on a chat all day
yeah,
long and waiting when you
yeah. I
have
get
other
it.
things to do? Yeah, that's not good customer service.
Yeah. And I think that will help eliminate a lot of you all's problems because, as far as
Sure.
them not continue to compound, if they can be addressed quickly. So, Terry, if you could forward that, whatever the solution is, whoever the solution is, if you can get that to me, I can get that to the team as well as to those who didn't make it to the call.
Yeah. That's why, I mean, and Bridget and doesn't have time to, or Lisa, they don't have time every day, all day, or Bianca to help us out.
Oh, I'm
You know,
aware.
I mean, but that's the reason why we're going to each other is
Yeah,
because you can't actually talk to anybody. We can share a screen on Zoom and walk ourselves through each one of these, and that's how we figure it out. But yeah, I mean, I shouldn't have to burden another chapter with that. I should be able to go to the people I pay, $9,000 to help to answer the phone. It's not cheap.
yeah.
So we should have some customer service.
So Terry, if there are any, I don't know if you all have any manuals for quick fixes or things, because if there's something quick that I can include, we have
Cheat
a
sheet?
resource. Yeah, cheat sheets, anything, the PDF files, stuff that can just really help them on an ongoing basis. That would be great if you could include that and follow up, just so I can make sure that's communicated and somebody knows where it is, so
Yeah.
that I don't want their individual issues to continue to compound because it's not worth it
Okay.
in that case.
I mean,
Because
what are the most common issues that you guys are seeing?
We're all different chapters with all different
right,
skill levels. So we can't compare.
I think it sounds to me like some of the chapters need some training in how
Yeah.
to implement
Yes.
like the basics of
Basics.
the site. And then some of the chapters need a little more like on the creative side, so not like the admin side, but the creative side, like how best to use the platform.
Yeah,
Uh,
both.
yeah, I think in summary, that's what I'm hearing.
I agree.
Obviously the basics we could cover in those training videos that I just sent over. And obviously our tutorials on our website, our knowledge base. That is going to cover the basics. For those creative related problems, I would say reach out to our support team. But again, let me talk to my support manager first, because all these together is what, 6 accounts. So
There's
obviously
more than
this
that
is
with our organization. We're just one specific region. There's more than that using wild apricot.
right. Yes. So let me I'll reach out to him definitely right after this. Okay. And I will follow up with you on this, Alicia. Definitely.
thank you. Yeah, that's just my concern because what happens if or when they have a question and it's outside the boot camp right here? Because I'm scrolling through it on another screen, because it will come up. So I think we don't want to limit what we are able to provide as far as resources.
Yeah. Okay. Um, any other questions from me? Well, good afternoon.